What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA, and here we go with the box office breakdown. You know this as the scoreboard for the film industry. This is where we take a look at who's hot, who's not, the winners and the losers. We also take a look at the week that just passed, along with the week that is to come. Okay, so let's check this out. We all expected it, right? We all knew what was going to happen this week. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness absolutely wiped the floor with everybody in the film industry this week, coming in at a $450 million global take, $185 million in the domestic box office. That is impressive no matter how you look at it. Did it hit all of the targets that a lot of folks have for it? Some people said 200, some people said 215. I said 220 or 227, somewhere in that range. And no, it didn't hit any of that. But that doesn't matter because $450 million for a global debut is great. It's success no matter how you look at it. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. By the way, if you haven't done so already, there's like buttons, there's subscribe buttons down below, and it really means a lot for me if you would actually click those buttons while you're hanging out here and watching this video. Number one, the like button helps this video kind of circulate its way around YouTube. Make sure that other people get to see it. You're enjoying it. Hey, don't be selfish. Let other people enjoy it. And then also, of course, the subscribe button if you want to get all of my videos. That helps me build up my channel. That'll be greatly appreciated as well. Okie dokie, let's go on and get to business. Weekend box office, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness conjures up $450 million on the global debut. Of course, this is Box Office Pro, where the movie fans go. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of walk through this article. So starts off by saying Disney and Marvel Studios superhero sequel Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness earned an impressive $185 million domestic and a $450 million global debut this week. Impressive again, no matter how you look at it. It's 11th place behind Avengers Age of Ultron and The Incredibles. It's 2.5 times. This is really impressive. 2.5 times the opening of Doctor Strange back in 2016. Okay, so you're talking about a film that did 85 million. This doubled that and then some, and it's only 20%. Only 20% behind the total domestic take of Doctor Strange. Think about it. 20% behind the entire run of that film. That is super impressive. All right. So it says here, yeah, the sequel appears likely to exceed its predecessor's total by the second weekend of release, if not before. Probably will do it before. I'm thinking it's probably going to hit there somewhere because with Tuesday night, that's where a lot of the discount movies come, and usually that has a big number. It's summer right now, so kids are starting to kind of slowly get out of, school, and people are starting to check things out throughout the week. The weather's warming up. People are taking time off. It's feeling nice out there. Hey, movies are back. Everybody, let's go check out the movies. All right, says it's the 7th biggest Marvel Cinematic Universe opening, and it's behind these films: Avengers Endgame, No Way Home, Infinity War, Avengers, the Black Panther, and of course, Age of Ultron. Let's check out the rest of these. The film was the 8th widest domestic release, okay? It was in a lot of theaters, right? 8 wide releases. These are the only films that had more screens than this film coming in, and you can see that. Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home is in there. It had a couple of Disney movies with The Lion King here, Toy Story 4, so it's got a lot of, it's in a lot of theaters, basically. It's in a lot of theaters, so you can imagine that this is going to get a pretty good hefty take as time goes on. Its per screen average 40,802. It ranks 15th all time, and there goes the list of those. So you can see all of these films, all heavy hitters. When films come out and studios and theaters are really excited, they're just going to say, hey, get this movie and show it to as many people as possible, and that's what they're doing with Doctor Strange. Overseas stats, obviously, is doing great. $265 million overseas. That's impressive. But the thing that I really wanted to get to just in this last little bit of recap, top distributors. Now, Disney hasn't really released a lot of films so far this year, right? Hasn't released very many films. And here's right now where things are sitting, okay? Right now, Sony is number one, has $482 million in takes so far, and this is domestic. Warner Brothers is coming in right behind them with $466 million. Paramount currently claiming third, $406 million, and then Universal fourth with $211 million. Disney right now 191.6 million, and 185 of that is Doctor Strange. Now you obviously know before the end of this year comes, Disney's probably going to take home the title again. It's taken home the title, I think, the last 5 years. It's going to take it home again because it's got Doctor Strange, it's got Lightyear, and then of course it's got Thor, Love, and Thunder. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get right to it. We're going to get to the numbers because that's what everybody came to see. So let's get to that. All right, and here we go with the top 10 for the weekend. Let's check it out. Number one, of course, Doctor Strange. We knew that was going to happen. $185 million. Number two is The Bad Guys, 9.7 million. Not a bad week at all when you consider everything. And then same thing for Sonic, doing 6.2 million in this particular environment with Doctor Strange coming out. That's pretty dang impressive. The Secrets of Dumbledore coming in number 4, 3.9 million. And then finally rounding out the top 5, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, 3.3 billion. All right, and then the second half of the top 10, Northman still hanging in there, doing decently, $2.7 million. The Lost City still really doing well. You know, the Lost City has hung in a lot. It's because it's a romantic comedy and it's an adventure. It's the kind of movie that you don't see a lot in theaters now, and it's still doing decently, but we're going to get to those numbers and what does that mean. 2.5 million overall. We got The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent at 1.5 million. Memory, the new Liam Neeson movie, plummets out of the market, you know, at 1.2 million in its second weekend. And then finally, Father Stew at $800,000. All right, next up, we're going to look at the week over week drops. So here we go. The Bad Guys only dropping 39%, folks. Bad Guys is doing really well, especially in the domestic field. As far as drops, it's getting a lot of positive buzz and review, but we're going to see how that takes when it comes to its overall, you know, make it or break it numbers. Right now, the worldwide is sitting at 148 million. Sonic obviously still doing very well, a 46% drop, 349 million worldwide. The Secrets of Dumbledore, a 53% drop from last week, now at 363 million. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, 40% drop. Man, like, you know, this film was on the rise. Like every week it was doing like little small jumps, like 2% up, 3%. Had a couple of big weeks, some really small drops. This is its first really significant drop, but still, nevertheless, less than 50%, which is always good. And now it's at 45 million worldwide. And then finally, The Northman, a 57% drop from last week. It's sitting at 51 million. All right, so we're going to move on to the top 10 worldwide. So Batman and Watergate Bridge, we already knew that those was going to be the top 2. But look who debuts at number 3. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It's $450 million just in one weekend is enough to elevate it all the way up to number 3. I can probably guarantee it's going to be number 1 next week. By the time we get to this next week, I'm pretty sure Doctor Strange is going to surpass the Batman, but we'll see. All right, Uncharted at $395 million takes in 4th, and of course, Secrets of Dumbledore, $363 million for its worldwide take so far. And then we have Sonic 2, 349 million. It's still climbing. We're going to take a quick look and see where Sonic 2 is measuring out when it comes to overall box office take for video game movies. It's climbing the ranks there. Too Cool to Kill, 217 million. Nice View at 211 million. The Lost City and Morbius. So these two films, they're kind of right now, you know, in that situation where they're probably going to end up losing money. I don't think The Lost City has much steam left in it. I already know that Morbius is completely done. And we're going to check that out with the make it or break it numbers. So you can see both of these films pretty much needed around the same amount of money. If we've been talking about that, about 188 plus or 185 plus to kind of break even, all right? And see where they are, 162, 161. Morbius is done. It's reached the end of its run. It's starting to leave theaters very quickly. I don't think it even made, you know, in the neighborhood of a couple of $100,000 this week. So it's pretty much done. It's not going to do much more than where it's at right now. 161 million. It's probably going to be its final take. And now Sony has a question, right? Hey, what are we going to do with this property, right? We have the Spider-Man universe, and we did $1.89 billion with Spider-Man No Way Home, right? But also, now we have Morbius. That didn't do very well. The last Venom kind of was diminishing returns, made 800 million its debut, made 500 million, you know, on its sequel. We have Craven that's in production right now. So you have Madam Web that's coming up. They just announced there's going to be an El Muerto movie. And then, of course, you have the Venom, third Venom film that's going to come out. This has to give them pause. This number right here has to give them a moment of pause where they're going to say, okay, what are we going to do here? Because this thing doesn't seem to be working very well. We just pumped in $75 million, not a lot, but then when you add all of the other things that they added to this, we needed $188 million in the golden age of comic book films, or maybe the silver age, I'm not sure. But look, I mean, Doctor Strange just made $450 million in one weekend, and we couldn't get barely a third of that in our entire box office run. What's going on here? Sony has some questions that they have to answer. But then again, you see Doctor Strange, we finally got the budget on that. I remember I said we didn't know the budget when we did the predictions. Well, we do have the budget now. It's at $200 million. So it only needed $500 million. It almost got that the first weekend. So you have to call it nothing but a success. It'll probably get this by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And that's it. The bad guys. So the bad guys, like I said, it only did 148 million and it needed 200 to break even. Right now, with all of the stuff in theaters, the bad guy might have to hang on for a little bit. Might have to play itself all the way out through the rest of May, through the rest of June, through the rest of July, maybe, just to see if it can get to that $200 million, because there's a lot of competition. But the thing about family films like The Bad Guys is they can constantly set little small goals like, 5, 6, 7 million, and it can kind of just stay steadily doing that. We saw that with Sing 2. Like Sing 2 stayed in theaters a very long time, and every week it was just doing, a little bit more and a little bit more, and it just kind of steadily got its numbers. I think The Bad Guys can do that as well. It's apparently a very popular book series. I've never heard of it, but other people have, and they're checking it out little by little. So I think if The Bad Guys hangs in there for another, let's say month and a half, 2 months, I think it'll probably end up making its money back. Secrets of Dumbledore, however, will have no such luck. I mean, this thing is absolutely dead and done. They're going to have to start doing some similar soul searching like Sony, because Warner Brothers Discovery, they're going to have to figure out what they want to do with this franchise. Now, I've already laid out my suggestions. The Marauders, either you make it a film series or you make it an HBO Max series. I'll go ahead and link that video above and you can check out what I think about that. But I think that for this particular franchise, the Wizarding World, it's a huge franchise if they do things right. But right now it doesn't look like they're doing things right. I'm not sure if this Fantastic Beasts series is going to keep going for much longer. All right, but that'll do it for the numbers. Now let's go ahead and take a look and see what's coming up next. All right, folks, so here we go. The release schedule for May 13, and as you can see, a whole lot of limited because nobody wanted to tangle with Doctor Strange. Firestarter just I'll throw my hat in the ring. We'll see what happens. It's a remake of the classic Stephen King novel, and it's a horror film, so that should bring in a decent amount for the horror crowd, because the horror crowd is very loyal and they'll want to see this. And it looks like it's going to be pretty good. A young girl tries to understand how she mysteriously gained the power to set things on fire with her mind. The original had, of course, Drew Barrymore. It's a very popular movie. I watched it a lot, like on cable TV back in the day. And yeah, the original was pretty decent. I don't know how this one's going to do. And you look back and you'll see, hey, after May 13, you go to May 20, not much going on here either, okay? You got Downton Abbey, that's a wide release, and you got Men, which is going to be a A24 horror film. Those don't really do big numbers, but they'll be fun films to watch, and I'll probably do reviews on both of them. But nevertheless, yeah, nothing really big coming out until Top Gun Maverick, which comes out May 27. So you see Doctor Strange will have next week. It'll even have the week after that to really pile up the numbers and probably three-peat until it runs into some serious competition, of course, with Top Gun Maverick. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. We're going to get to a last topic. This is about Sonic. Now, we've all been checking on where does Sonic 2 going to land. Flip over to that right now. And we see right now, look at there, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 sitting at $349 million, as we said. It's only $3 million or so behind the Angry Birds movie. So it looks like Sonic 2 will rise and enter the top 5 overall for a video game adaptation. So congratulations to the folks down at the Sonic team, Sega, Paramount Pictures. That's a great accomplishment. Had a lot of fans that were sour on it at first because of some of the look of Sonic, but now it seems like this thing has turned a corner, and it might end up being like one of the biggest franchises going right now. I can actually see Sonic making maybe 3, 4, 5 more films and having just like a run in the box office, and maybe end up becoming like a $2 billion series overall. Right now, I think with the next film it's probably looking at $1 billion series, and then if you move on and keep making more, you'll enter into that rarefied air of having a series make $2 billion overall. Not too many can say that. Now, so the next question is, will it rise to the level of Uncharted? Will it get to Uncharted territory, so to speak, and past Uncharted at 395? That's going to be tough, because the one thing that we do know is that Sonic is not going to be in theaters, for very much longer. Paramount Plus is going to move this thing to streaming as soon as it can. And then once that happens, all bets are off. It's probably going to get pulled out of theaters, because it's like, well, people can watch it on streaming. We're not going to waste a screen on this. We got other big movies coming up. So let's just go ahead and, clear Sonic out of here and make the way for these other movies. And yeah, and right now, Sonic, right now it's at 349, like we said. But if you scroll down here, it's at day 31. So at day 45, it's probably out of here. So it got a couple of more weeks to make some more money. I'm not sure how much more it'll make, but we'll see, folks. But anyway, that'll do it for the box office breakdown. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank especially all the new subscribers out there. You guys mean a lot to me. You're really helping my channel grow, and it really helps, and I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I also want to thank all the folks that just like the videos. You come in here, you give it a like I said, that helps it kind of circulate around the little YouTube world, helps other people find it. So I really appreciate you guys doing that. But in any case, that'll do it. I want to thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.